Have you ever wondered why some YouTube channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers suddenly vanish overnight? What if I told you there are 8 seemingly innocent mistakes that creators make every single day that could get their channels banned, buried by the algorithm, or completely destroyed? Today, I'm going to reveal the hidden traps that YouTube's automated systems are constantly scanning for, and how you can avoid becoming another casualty in the platform's relentless war against spam and low-quality content. My name is on the screen, and over the past few years, I've built multiple successful YouTube channels and worked with many creators. In that time, I've witnessed channels with massive followings get completely wiped out because of mistakes that seemed completely harmless. These weren't bad actors trying to scam the system. These were genuine creators who thought they were doing everything right, only to wake up to an email saying their channel had been terminated. Here's what most people don't understand about YouTube's enforcement system. Every single minute, 500 hours of new content gets uploaded to the platform. That's more content in one day than you could watch in several lifetimes. With this massive volume, YouTube can't rely on human reviewers to catch every violation. Instead, they use sophisticated automated systems that look for patterns and behaviors that signal potential rule violations. These systems are intentionally aggressive because YouTube would rather accidentally flag a legitimate creator than let a spam network or copyright infringer slip through the cracks. Why? Because YouTube's relationship with advertisers and content owners is worth billions of dollars. If major brands start pulling their advertising because of controversial content, or if media companies file massive lawsuits over copyright infringement, YouTube's entire business model collapses. When these automated systems detect suspicious patterns, they don't wait around to investigate whether you're actually violating policies. They act first and ask questions later. The appeals process can take weeks or months, if you're lucky enough to get human review at all. This is why understanding these patterns and avoiding them completely is absolutely critical to your long-term success on the platform. Let's start with mistake number 1, which is probably the most common trap I see new creators fall into. It's something called subscriber exchange schemes, and it might seem like the most innocent thing in the world. When you're just starting out, getting those first 100 subscribers feels absolutely impossible. You see other small creators in comment sections saying things like, "I'll subscribe to everyone who subscribes to me," or small channels supporting each other. It seems like a harmless way to help each other grow, right? But here's what you need to understand. YouTube systems are incredibly sophisticated when it comes to detecting artificial engagement patterns. When a bunch of people rapidly subscribe to each other's channels, YouTube sees this as coordinated inflation, especially when they're not seeing corresponding increases in watch time and genuine engagement. The problem isn't community support itself, but how you go about it. If you want to support other creators, do it naturally within your niche by leaving genuine comments and actually watching their content. But avoid any scheme where the primary purpose is just to boost subscriber numbers. These artificial subscriber exchanges will hurt your channel more than help it because YouTube's algorithm will detect that your subscribers aren't actually engaged with your content. Mistake number 2 is hashtag abuse. And this one catches a lot of creators off guard. Hashtags are those clickable phrases you can add to your titles and descriptions. You might have heard that hashtags help with discoverability, because when someone clicks on a hashtag, they see all the videos tagged with it. So naturally, you might think more hashtags equals more discoverability. But here's where YouTube's guidelines become crucial. According to their official policy, if a video has more than 60 hashtags, YouTube will ignore all the hashtags on that content. Not just the excess ones, but literally all of them. It gets worse though. YouTube explicitly states that overuse of hashtags may result in the removal of your video from uploads or searches entirely. Let me break this down for you. If you're trying to game the system by stuffing your content with hashtags, YouTube doesn't just ignore your hashtags. They can make your entire video invisible in search results. I've seen channels with thousands of subscribers suddenly lose 90% of their views because they tried to game the system with excessive hashtags. Personally, I stopped using hashtags because I think they represent less than 1% of your discoverability strategy. The other 99% comes from YouTube. Understanding what your video is actually about through your title, description, and most importantly, how people interact with your content. If you do choose to use hashtags, Stick to 3 to 6 highly specific ones that directly relate to your content and audience. The third mistake can get your channel terminated faster than anything else, and that's copyright violations. This is where I need to address something that many YouTube educators have taught in the past, including myself, which is the concept of studying successful videos to understand what made them work, then creating your own original content inspired by those insights. When done correctly, this approach is about learning from success and applying those lessons to your own unique perspective. But here's where many creators go wrong. They confuse being inspired by something with directly copying from it. I've seen creators literally copy and paste viral video scripts word for word and present them as their own content. I've seen people download other creators' videos, make minor edits, and re-upload them as original content. This isn't inspiration or studying successful content. This is copyright infringement, and YouTube's content identification system is incredibly sophisticated at detecting these violations. The truth about legitimate content creation is that you study successful videos to understand why they worked, then create completely original content that serves the same audience need, but from your unique perspective. If you're using clips from other videos, make sure you understand fair use principles. Add substantial original commentary. Use multiple sources so your content is transformative in nature, and always provide proper context. This isn't foolproof, and channels still face copyright issues even when following these guidelines. But you'll be in a much better position than if you simply copy other people's work. Mistake number 4 is something most creators never think about until it's too late, and that's channel security. As your channel grows, it becomes a target not just for viewers, but also for scammers, hackers, and even competitors who might want to damage your reputation or steal your channel entirely. I've personally seen successful channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers get completely compromised because of basic security mistakes. Once someone gains access to your channel, they can do permanent damage to your reputation and relationship with YouTube. They might run fake live streams, upload inappropriate content, or get you banned by violating platform policies. The biggest security mistake I see constantly is using the same email address for channel management that you make publicly available for business inquiries. If you put an email address on your About page or in video descriptions for sponsorship opportunities, that email becomes visible to potentially thousands of people, some of whom might not have good intentions. If someone gains access to that email through hacking, social engineering, or data breaches at other companies, they potentially have access to your entire YouTube channel. The solution is simple but crucial. Create a separate business email that's only for public communications, but keep your actual YouTube account email completely private and never share it publicly. Also, make sure you're using strong, unique passwords. I recommend using a password manager like Bitwarden, which is completely free and can generate complex passwords while storing them securely. This way, you're not reusing the same password across multiple platforms, which is another common security vulnerability. The 5th mistake nearly cost me my entire channel just a few months ago, and that's falling into what I call the make money online content trap. YouTube started aggressively targeting channels in the make money online space, and I witnessed this happening across the platform. I had a playlist of popular videos in this niche, and one day I opened it to find that half the videos had been completely removed. Then I started receiving warnings on my channel. At first I brushed them off thinking they were just automated mistakes, but those warnings quickly turned into actual strikes. When you get 3 strikes, your channel gets completely deleted. I tried appealing the strikes, thinking there had been some error, but they were upheld almost immediately. That's when I realized what was happening. YouTube's automated systems had been updated to target make money online content more aggressively. This could be due to pressure from regulatory agencies who don't want platforms promoting unrealistic income claims. Or it could be YouTube preemptively protecting themselves from potential legal issues. Whatever the reason, I had to make a difficult decision. I went through my channel and removed every single video that had make money online themes in the titles, thumbnails, or content. This seems to have worked because I didn't receive any more strikes, and those 2 strikes eventually expired. Here's a crucial tip that can save your channel. Create a custom assistant within ChatGPT where you paste all of YouTube's terms of service. Then you can run any title ideas, scripts, or content concepts through this tool and ask whether anything might violate YouTube's policies. It can also suggest adjustments to help ensure you stay within the guidelines. Mistake number 6 is something that's hugely prevalent right now, and relates to the quality of content being produced. There's been a lot of discussion about what some people call artificial intelligence-generated spam content, and I want to address this directly because it's becoming a serious problem on the platform. The issue isn't with using artificial intelligence tools to help create content. The problem is when creators rely entirely on generic AI tools without adding any original value or insight. I've seen channels that simply copy and paste content from Reddit, run it through an AI text-to-speech generator, and add some generic visuals. This creates what essentially amounts to robotic, mass-generated content that provides little genuine value to viewers. If you're going to use AI tools, make sure they're helping you create genuinely valuable content, not just helping you pump out volume. Always do a quality check before publishing anything. And make sure your videos provide either educational or entertainment value that justifies someone spending their time watching. The seventh mistake is one I learned about the hard way when my channel got hacked, and I was certain it was gone forever. I received what appeared to be a very legitimate sponsorship inquiry via email. Someone claimed they wanted to sponsor my channel and attached what looked like a PDF document with details about the partnership. I downloaded the document and tried to open it, and that was my critical mistake. The file wasn't actually a PDF at all, even though it appeared to be in the file name. It was a malicious program that installed software on my computer, which then harvested all my Google account data, including cookies and cached login information. One day, I woke up to find my channel running a fake cryptocurrency live stream. Fortunately, I was able to contact YouTube directly through social media and get the issue resolved. But I've heard of creators who weren't so lucky and lost their channels permanently because YouTube assumed they were the ones running fraudulent live streams. To avoid this disaster, be extremely cautious about any emails claiming to be from sponsors or brands, especially if they ask you to download and open files directly on your computer. Legitimate businesses can share documents through Google Docs or other cloud-based systems. You should never need to download executable files or suspicious attachments to review sponsorship materials. The final mistake that's destroying channels is something called tag stuffing. YouTube provides a specific section where you can add video tags, and there's ongoing debate about whether tags are even useful anymore for discovery. But the important thing to understand is that tags belong in the designated tag section, not scattered throughout your video description. I see many creators trying to game the system by stuffing additional tags into their video descriptions, thinking they're giving YouTube more information about their content. In reality, this triggers YouTube's spam detection systems. YouTube's official policy explicitly states that while hashtags are allowed, adding ordinary descriptive tags or repetitive keywords in the description is prohibited. When you stuff keywords unnaturally into your description, it looks like you're trying to manipulate the system, because you are. YouTube's algorithm is sophisticated enough to understand what your video is about from your title, description, and actual content, without you needing to stuff additional keywords everywhere. What successful creators do is write their descriptions for humans first and the algorithm second. At the end of the day, the algorithm amplifies what humans enjoy, so make your description something that provides value to viewers. Write a brief, natural description that clearly explains what people will learn or discover from watching your video and why they should care about it. Use natural language that sounds like how you would actually talk to someone. YouTube's algorithm pays far more attention to how people actually interact with your content than how many keywords you've crammed into your description. Focus on creating genuine value, and the technical optimization will take care of itself. Now, at this point you might be thinking this all sounds pretty intimidating. Are you saying YouTube is just waiting to ban creators for innocent mistakes? That's absolutely not the case. YouTube wants creators to succeed because successful creators make YouTube successful. But they also need to maintain the quality and integrity of their platform while keeping advertisers happy. The creators who get caught up in these enforcement actions are usually the ones trying to find shortcuts or game the system, instead of focusing on what actually matters, which is creating valuable content that people genuinely want to watch. YouTube isn't out to get you, but their systems are designed to protect the platform from spam, copyright infringement, and low-quality content. Understanding these common mistakes and avoiding them isn't about walking on eggshells or being afraid of the platform. It's about building a sustainable, long-term strategy that works with YouTube systems rather than against them. When you focus on creating genuine value for your audience while following the platform's guidelines, you set yourself up for lasting success. The key is to think long-term, rather than looking for quick wins or shortcuts. Build your channel on a foundation of original, valuable content that serves a real audience need. Engage authentically with your community and other creators in your space. Invest in proper security measures to protect the channel you're building. And always prioritize the viewing experience over trying to manipulate metrics or game the algorithm. Remember that YouTube processes an incredible amount of content every single day, and their automated systems are the first line of defense against spam and abuse. By understanding how these systems work and what patterns they're looking for, you can avoid accidentally triggering them while focusing on what really matters, which is growing your audience and building a sustainable business on the platform. These 8 mistakes represent the most common ways I see creators inadvertently sabotage their own success on YouTube. Subscriber exchange schemes might seem like innocent community building, but they create artificial engagement patterns that hurt your channel's performance. Hashtag abuse can make your content invisible in search results. Copyright violations can get your channel terminated immediately. Poor security practices can lead to your channel being compromised and potentially lost forever. Falling into content traps like unrealistic income claims can trigger aggressive enforcement actions. Relying too heavily on generic AI tools without adding genuine value creates spam that viewers and the algorithm both reject. Falling for phishing attempts disguised as business opportunities can compromise your entire operation. And tag stuffing triggers spam detection systems that can severely limit your reach. But here's the encouraging news. Every single one of these mistakes is completely avoidable once you know what to look for. You don't need to be afraid of YouTube's systems if you understand how they work and align your strategy accordingly. Focus on creating original, valuable content for a specific audience. Engage authentically with your community and other creators. Invest in basic security measures to protect your work. And always think long-term, rather than looking for quick fixes or shortcuts. The creators who succeed on YouTube over the long term are the ones who treat it as a legitimate business, rather than a get-rich-quick scheme. They understand that building a sustainable channel takes time, effort, and genuine value creation. They work with the platform systems rather than trying to game them. If you can avoid these 8 critical mistakes while focusing on what really matters, you'll be well positioned to build a successful, lasting presence on YouTube. The platform offers incredible opportunities for creators who approach it strategically and authentically. Don't let these common pitfalls derail your journey before you've even gotten started. The choice is yours. You can try to find shortcuts and risk having your channel destroyed by automated enforcement systems, or you can build something sustainable that grows steadily over time. I know which approach I'd recommend, and I hope this breakdown helps you avoid the mistakes that have derailed so many other creators' dreams. Your YouTube journey doesn't have to be filled with anxiety about enforcement actions and algorithm changes. When you understand the rules of the game and play by them, you can focus all your energy on what really matters, creating amazing content that serves your audience and builds the business or career you've always wanted.